I'm not saying complain is a good thing, but if you're going to be a complainer, be a doer. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Josephine. I give you lifestyle, fitness, and self-development. It's been a while since we sat here looking pretty. And you guys know every time I sit here looking pretty with you guys, it's time to talk. It's time to hold each other's hands and have the conversation that needs to be had. And I always start my videos by saying, I am never going to speak of something if I'm not specialized on it, I haven't experienced it, and I haven't lived it, okay? I have to live it, experience it, and be a specialist at it in order for me to talk about it, because that's the only way. In order for me to give you guys a solution, I have to go through the problem and find a solution so that I can help you guys out. And before we get into this video, if you like my videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join the family, because I promise you guys, I promise you guys are going to get weekly self-development video. Yeah, that's very huge of me promising that, but I feel like I can do it, and I feel like I owe it to you guys. So let's get into it. You guys know I don't talk your head off when it comes to this video. I get straight to the point. So let's get into it. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking where I've been. It's been a while since I posted a self-development video, and honestly, the reason why I stopped posting a self-development video is because I felt like a hypocrite. I felt like if I'm gonna educate people about something, I just need to make sure that my life is up to par, and that's where my mind tricked me out of my spot. Not everything needs to be perfect, and I don't need to see progression in my life all the time in order to give people advice or in order for me to take my own advice. And I feel like I stopped because I stopped believing in myself, honestly, because I felt like my life was not improving in the way that I wanted it to be, and it was kind of getting to me. So I was just like, yeah, I don't want to post or I don't want to record no self-development video if my life is not where I want it to be. And people are not going to listen to me if I don't have the aesthetically pleasing place. But rest assured, babes, we're gonna get there. One thing about me, I'm always going to do what I need to do to get to my goal. If that means I have to be delayed, it means my mind tricks me out of my spot and makes me think that I don't deserve it or this and that or that, I'll let it have it, but then I'm gonna fight back, okay? One thing about me, I don't know how to give up. Like, giving up is not in my vocabulary, especially when it comes to me and my goals. I love myself too much to let myself down. The last thing I want to live with is regret. So let's get into the video. So I decided to come with a banger. You know, something that has been trending a lot on TikTok. It has been trending a lot on YouTube. And I've been thinking about it a lot too. So let's do 25 things that I learned before 26. But the gag is, don't scroll past. We're not going to do all 26 or 25. I'm just doing 5 or 6 things that I have learned in the few months or up to a year that I've decided to distance from you guys or ghost y'all. A lot has happened, okay? Let me hold your hands because we're gonna go through it, okay? And hopefully me overcoming it and learning lessons from it can help you as well. So let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is your health and your mental health. Okay, let's start with health. Let me tell you something, guys. When you hit the age of 25 or about to hit the age of 25, I'm 26 now, by the way. If you hit the age of 25, your body starts to change. I don't think a lot of people or a lot of women advocate a lot or talk about this a lot. Your body will change. Like, you think, oh, you have fast metabolism, you will never gain weight, you will never develop any health issues if you're not a certain way or you're not doing a certain things, you don't have a certain bad habits or consuming certain lifestyle that's not good for you, you're going to be good throughout your life. No, I thought so. I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't smoke. I don't go out every time. I don't eat out all the time. I eat healthy, semi-healthy. Now I do. Before, eat semi-healthy. I go to the gym all the time because it's my personality. I thought I would be good, but babes, just a little vulnerability. Recently, I got diagnosed with a liver disease, and it wasn't due to drinking because I don't drink that much. It wasn't due to any drug abuse because what drugs am I using? If I was using drugs, I promise you I'll be high in life, but life is dragging me, okay? But So the doctor was like, if you don't consume any of that, it could be due to chronic stress. Excuse me. Now that leads me to the next part. Mental health. The older you get, the more life decides to beat you up. I don't understand. It doesn't matter if you got your ish together. If it doesn't matter if you got you're on track to certain things. No matter how many, no matter what age you're at, no matter how many things you've accomplished, no matter how much you set yourself for success, no matter how much you've planned everything out, life will still find a way to beat you up. And I feel like for me personally, I don't have any woman or older woman in my life, sadly, that teaches me about mental health, especially being in an African household. They don't believe in mental health. So a lot of older African women go their whole life without taking care of their mental health. And I'm not gonna lie, I was depressed the time that I distanced myself from you guys. And I was so focused on it. One of the reasons why I was so depressed is my environment. I was so focused on trying to get out, right? I wasted all my energy. No, I'm not even wasted. Actually wasted. I put all my energy, all my effort, all my social life. I just put my whole self into that one particular goal. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But when it comes to like trying to change something that's very hard, especially for in my circumstances, I'm explaining that later. Trying to change something that's very hard in my circumstances, you cannot forget about your social life and what makes you happy. Never forget about what makes you happy when you're like going after a goal. And I think I lost myself completely when I was trying to achieve certain things so that I can get out of my certain environment. Of course, my environment was literally beating me down mentally. But me neglecting and going full throttle of, oh, I need to get this done, full body, blood, soul, and like mind. Like I was having fun, but like there was a period of time that I neglected certain things. A period of time that I neglected certain things that made me happy and sacrificed things that made me happy in order to achieve a certain goal, which happened and then got fumbled. Yes, don't get me wrong. I'm somebody who works hard, and when I put my mind into something, I'm going to get in, which exactly that happened. I got the apartment that I wanted, and I don't want to say I fumbled it, but things didn't line up. A lot of things was going wrong, right? And when that whole period was over and I got the apartment, I was moving out. I was in the process of moving out, and it got ripped out of my hands so fast. When I stepped back for a second, I was just like, yo, I spend all my time trying to get this one thing, right? For it to fall out of my hands and fall out of my hands, out of my control. I promise you, out of my control. For it to fall out of my hands, for what? Right? I neglected my self-cares. Like, I'm not saying like self-care is like essentials, like skincare and all that stuff, like things that made me happy, like putting effort into my clothes, putting effort into oh my God, guys, I forgot about traveling. I wasted my whole summer and I only stepped foot in one country. Can you believe it? That's not me. That's not me. Okay? It's just like I lost myself. And my tip for you guys when it comes to your health, like I already said, one, please don't think it can never happen to you. Make sure you go to your doctor. Make sure you're advocating for your health every single time. Even if you're eating healthy, even if you're the most healthiest, most athletic six-pack person, living in America, sadly, health issues is going to rise up. Not long ago, about a week ago or two, I also developed an infection that caused hives all over my face. Hive on my face, on my skin, my throat closed, my chest was closed, I couldn't breathe, and officially your girl is now on EpiPen. I had to carry my pen everywhere in case someday my throat closes, I have to stab myself. Now I have an inhaler. Like, can you believe that? Like, I still to this day cannot believe that. And also moving on to your mental health, I don't know what you need to do or what you need. I don't know what you need to do, but find something that makes you happy. That's what mental health is about. Also resting, guys. Learn how to rest. I know this is a hustle culture. We live in a do or die type of society. And I'm the type of person like that too. I'm very disciplined. I'm very hardcore. But I do take time nowadays that I'm older to take care of myself. That means laying in bed and doing nothing. It means laying in bed and doing nothing. Next thing that I've learned before 26 is feeling behind in the society pressure of being perfect or having a certain path in this world. I would say I am the black sheep of my family. And I'm not saying I dropped out of school because I didn't want to go to school. That would be crazy, but that's what people are putting on me. I've always been an A grade student. I've always been an honest student from through and through. I love school. School is full of structure, and that's what it gave me. Due to circumstances and family situation, which they don't want to admit, I had to get out of school, right? And of course, I'm back in school now, which alhamdulillah, I'm so grateful for. But I would say with that being set back, things do set back a little bit for me when it comes to the regular 9-to-5 culture, trying to get a job in certain field if you don't have a degree and everything. And I see other people doing certain things like, having a car, having their own place. And I couldn't have that because of, that little setback with my education. And it got to a point where I was just comparing myself. I was comparing my path. I was just like, damn, I'm 26. I don't have a car. I don't have my own apartment. I've seen people who are 22 who have their own apartment, their own car. And I'm just comparing myself to other people. And I know you already heard this already, but everybody's path is different. What makes you special is because it's your path. Your path, let's say this is how I see it, right? Somebody might surpass you, somebody younger than you might surpass you to get certain things that you wanted to get at a younger age. But when it's time for you to receive the things that you want to receive, I promise you, with the age, with the knowledge and everything that you've acquired, you're probably going to get 10 times more than the other person, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that you're going to be better than the other person, but you are going to get your blessings regardless of the age. And I feel like age is probably another thing that society put onto us, that at a certain age you have to have certain things in order, you have to have certain things done and set. And it's not true. You do things when it's right for you, because at the end of the day, everything is by God's hands. It's not in our hands. And I was telling one of my friends that as long as you continue to work hard, as long as you don't give up on your dreams, as long as you continue to do everything that you need to do, there's no way that your blessings will pass you ever. So I know a lot of people will be, pressuring you to do certain things and everything. I want to give one piece of advice. Okay, before we move on to the next one. One piece of advice when it comes to feeling behind. When it comes to feeling behind, you're going to hear a lot of opinions, a lot of you should do this and that from people. And I'm not saying be a deaf ear and not listen to people or listen to other people's advice. But here is what I will say, and I'll keep it simple. Only listen to people that you want their life. If somebody's life is not something that you envision yourself in, why are we listening to that person? Why are we taking advice from those people, right? And people are always going to project their mistakes, their guilt, and their insecurities on you always. Do things that is best for you. Of course, listen to advice, but listen to people that you want their success, not people that you would never, ever trade life with, ever. So the next thing that I've learned at 25 before I turned 26 is relationships, whether it's romantic and whether it's friendship wise. So let's start with romantic relationship. It is okay to be alone. It is perfectly okay to be alone. I'm not saying that I'm not somebody who is not alone, because I like being alone. I don't give a heck. I like being alone. But some people are so desperate for partners to the point where they start to attract their desperation. You do not attract what you need, you attract your desperation. It is perfectly okay to be alone. I know you see everybody with your boo and this and that, but please remember that all you're seeing is the front. You're not seeing the back. Meaning the back, there's a lot of things going on. That man's probably cheating on her and she's staying because she ain't got nowhere to go. That man's probably staying because she's probably abusive and he doesn't know how to speak to anybody about it. I'm not saying everybody's relationship is flawed, right? But comparing yourself and not being in a relationship is not really a good thing. You know, one time I was just like thinking to myself, like, damn, I wish I had a partner. And honestly, enjoy your singleness. Enjoy your singleness. It is a privilege to live a life where you don't have to answer to anybody. You can get up and go travel without having to answer to anybody. You can get up and do certain things without having to answer to nobody. I'm telling you, when that relationship comes or when that marriage comes, you're never going to have your own privacy. Ever. It's done for, you know? So this is the moment where you get to know yourself, you get to love on yourself, you get to give time to yourself. You don't have to always be worried about somebody else, okay? That time is going to come, but in the meantime, enjoy this peace of mind. The other thing that I learned about, like, you know, romantic relationship is not breaking your non-negotiables. No, I'm not saying, again, not breaking. You can bend them, but not break it. Make sure whoever you're with is meeting you on a common ground. If you sit down and you have conversation with this person and it's always what they want. You know, for example, let's take it, for example, you meet somebody you like, you guys are vibing, and he quote unquote says, let's just go with the flow. But you know you're somebody that likes a foundation. You like a solid foundation. You do not go with the flow. You move with plans and with intentions. And that person is not trying to meet you on a common ground, and they're telling you, they're feeding into your mind, oh, you're being forceful, you're being this and that or that. They're gaslighting you, because guess what? They're manipulating you to forget about what your needs are so that you can cater to their needs. If they really cared about you and they really wanted something serious with you, they really valued you, either meet you on a common ground or make sure they handle your needs with care and make sure they meet your needs. Do not break your non-negotiable. You can bend them, because nobody's perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. But do not break them. So moving on from relationship to friendship. I only have two things to say about friendship. First, communication. Three things, actually. Communication is everything. If something happens, right, communicate with that person once or twice. After once or twice, and that person is keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, they don't respect you. And it's okay to leave. That leads me to my next point. I don't tolerate disrespect at all. I am a very nice, calm, kind, and respectful person. I don't yell. It takes a lot out of me to yell, but I don't yell. I don't go out of my way to be crazy, or I don't, you know, lose my cool when it comes to like outside relationships. But if I have to get to that point, you've reached that point when it comes to disrespect. I don't play with disrespect, because I treat everybody with respect, with kindness, and with consideration. If you cannot give me those three, I don't care how beneficial the friendship is, I will burn that bridge, because baby, I can swim. Another thing I want to talk about, which is very, very like a hot topic on TikTok, a lot of people have been talking about it, which is that friend that's always falling out with somebody, or that friend that never really have friends. I still have my friends. I have friends since high school. I have friends since college and everything. When you become friends with me, would you spot me falling out with a few people? The answer is yes. Don't let society of all these people saying, oh, if you always falling out with friends, you're the weirdo, or if you don't have friends, you're the weirdo, da, da, da. Don't let them use that trick to force you to lower your standards. When it comes to friendship, hold that friendship as high as you hold that relationship. I do. If you feel like, you're respectful, you're kind, you're considerate towards your friends, be sure that you look for that trait in the other person. Don't dim down your standards because of the sake of keeping friendship. It's okay to fall out with people. It's okay to distance yourself from people when you see certain traits in them. It is okay, because one thing you do not want to do is be around somebody and you feel like you have to be on your tippy toe. You feel unease when you're around them. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. When I start to notice a certain trait in somebody and I discuss that with that person, first of all, we should not be discussing certain traits, but again, communication is key. Being self-aware clearly is not a common thing anymore. But like, when I see certain traits of somebody, of course we're going to speak about it, but like after a while, if you keep doing that thing, I'm going to feel unease when I'm around you. Don't let society trick you out and make you feel like you're the weirdo for falling out with people. I'm not saying fall out with people every 5 seconds. Explain to them, talk to them, communicate. Because I used to be, I'll be honest, I used to not communicate to my friends, old friends, about their certain traits, and I'll fall out with them. Cool. That was my fault. The friendship fell out, not because of just the person. I take blame as well. But now it's like, I will communicate with you once or twice. But after that, it's just like, one thing about me, my spirit does not know how to sit well with certain things that it doesn't like. So therefore, I'm not going to continue to be around you, because if I continue to be around you, that means I feel unease, and I hate feeling unease. I'm a very bubbly person. I like to laugh, kiki, ha 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 ha. So if I cannot be around you and be myself, and I have to move a certain way, I can't be friends with you. I'm sorry. I cannot be friends with you. And also, I'm not sitting here and saying friendship all sunshine and rainbow. Some of my friendship that are 5 years long, almost 10 years long. Of course, we've had like arguments and everything, and sometimes even falling out and coming back. But it's all about having that fallout or having that disagreement and having that conversation about the reasons why you guys fell off, and then them fixing it and you fixing as well, and I'm fixing as well. But if there's no fixing, there's no improvement, there's no relationship. Cut that person off. And this is not just about romantic relationship and friendship. This is about family too. If people do not respect your boundaries and they don't care about you, that's it, bro. You can say your goodbyes. Because I want to add on to boundaries, and I want to add on to people not being respectful and people not like being considerate and people not caring. That can also stress you out. Y'all know that, right? Being on ease around somebody and having to be tiptoe around that person, knowing that if you get around that person or those people, they will cross the boundaries, they will disrespect you, they will make you feel horrible, they don't care about how you feel, they only care about themselves, they're inconsiderate. I'm telling you this right now, if you do not distance yourself from those type of people, you do not create a wall around yourself, they will stress you out to the point where it's on the brink of your health and your life. It's okay. Don't let these social media people fool you and be like, oh, you're falling out with this person because of da-da-da-da. Some people are so desperate to keep people around that no matter how shitty these people treat them, they will keep them around forever and ever and continue to damage their mental health. But yeah, that's my little tip for platonic relationship, romantic relationship, even family relationship. Do not break your boundaries for other people, because understand, at this ripened age of 25 and above, people have the brain and the capacity to know what they are doing. People are not dumb. They're not. So don't be dumb too. Protect yourself. And I'm not saying don't become a mean person or become a horrible person. Don't stoop down to anybody's level. If somebody wants to be a horrible person, they want to be inconsiderate, they want to be mean, they want to be rude, let them do them. Have you seen inconsiderate, mean, evil people? They look ugly as hell. And you never want to scoop down to that level. Keep being kind, keep being nice, because at the end of the day, God is going to reward that. And God is going to put the right people in that place for you. Last but not least, I listed this as life is a game, play it. AKA that victim mentality mindset. I hate victim mentality people because I used to be one of them. I used to be somebody who victim blamed all the time. Oh, I'm not this because this person did this. I'm not da-da-da-da. Pointing fingers at everybody else, but not understanding that at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to make it happen. Like, it's your life. There's nobody going to come and save you. You are not, I mean, I don't know who's watching this, but we weren't born with no silver spoon in our mouth, okay? Like, we have to get it out of the mud just like everybody else. So you sitting here blaming this and da-da-da. Let me say, I was watching this video of, like, it was a debate between middle class and a millionaire, right? And the millionaire was talking about how, like, you know, America and life is a game, and how is structured by humans. Of course, it's not fair, but it's a game. And the middle class person was just saying that, yeah, but don't you think that's not fair, da-da-da-da. And then the millionaire said, yeah, it's not fair, but what are you going to do about it? It's either you're going to play the game or you're just going to sit there and complain. That is key, because I feel like a lot of us, including me, I felt in the victim of, oh my God, the economy, this is happening and everything. Whilst I'm complaining, I'm not doing anything. I would get it if you're working your butt off. I would get it if you're doing everything under the sun. You're hustling like a maniac, and then you can blame it on the economy. You can blame it on this and that and that, but you're not really doing anything. Like, I admire people who complain but still get things done. I'm not saying complain is a good thing, but if you're going to be a complainer, be a doer. Complain and get it done, you know? And we sit here and say, oh, life is not fair. Life is a game. Everything is in the rich advantage and everything. Play the game. Try. What's the saying? I'd rather die trying not to try at all. I would die trying to get to the top. Are you kidding me? I would never settle for anything that is not what I hold myself to the standards. I was listening to this podcast, and it wasn't a podcast actually. I remember when I was in this group, this guy was giving a motivational speech, and he was like, this is how you set a goal, right? If your goal is to meet this, if your goal is to touch the sky, you do not set a goal to touch the sky. You set a goal to touch the moon. So that when you're setting the goal, when you're on your way to like achieving the goal, you're not even going to worry about the sky no more. You're going to worry about hitting the moon. And the moment you look at it, you've even surpassed the goal that you already like intentionally wanted. So if your goal is to touch the sky and you scratch that out and be like, forget, I don't want to touch the sky. I want to touch the moon, right? When you're on your way and you're working hard, you're not even going to think about touching the sky. You're going to think about the moon. When the time comes for you to look at where you're at or where your progress is when it comes to your goals, you've already touched the moon or close to the moon, if that makes sense. Like, stop victim blaming. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Yes, the economy is horrible. Yes, this and that and that. Poverty exists. Pyramid scheme exists. The rich over the poor, survival of the fittest, all that happens. All that is true. But would you rather try, or would you rather sit there and complain and not try at all? And as a woman, and if you're fine babes, that's kind of easy. And I believe every woman on earth is a fine babes. Invest time into yourself. Invest time into your looks. Be disciplined. Take care of yourself like you're gold. People always, when people see me in my neighborhood, people everywhere, they tell me that I act like my nose is up, or I'm stuck up, or I'm better than everybody. I'm not saying I'm better than everybody, but I believe that I'm gold. I believe that I'm worth so many things. So therefore, I'm going to protect and move that way. Okay? My mama didn't raise no loser. I'm going to get what I want. So therefore, I'm going to carry myself a certain way. And when it comes to carrying yourself a certain way, it requires a certain type of mentality. It requires a certain type of mindset. I said mentality. It requires a certain type of investment, and it requires a certain type of like drive. I put a message there saying that if people are saying that life is a cheat code, right, and survival of the fittest, you don't have 5 heads like the other millionaire. You eat, sleep, shit, bleed like that other millionaire. Yes, he might be. It doesn't matter the skin color and everything. Believe it or not, you both have the same capability of reaching the same goal. The mindset of the millionaire is kind of different from you, because he or she is not playing the victim mindset. They are going after what they want. And I feel like another thing is, it doesn't matter where you're at in life, as long as you work towards and have the drive of improving every step of the way. Every year, I hold myself to a standards. I have to make sure that I am in a better place than I was last year. Life can humble you. Yes. Cool. That can happen. But still uphold yourself to that standard, that every year you need to be better than the last year. You need to be in a better position. You need to find it. I don't care if you think you have reached a mountain. There is no mountain that can't find another mountain for you to reach. Find another, if there's something else that you need to, improve. Always find something you need to improve. And I know somebody's going to be like, that's exhausting, that's not healthy. What's not healthy is you staying in the same place. It doesn't, I would say, okay, cool, if you're satisfied with your life, cool, hey, who am I to judge? But if you're somebody who think you can do better, find areas in your life that you need to improve so that you can get to the next level. But sitting there and complaining about your life is not going to change the fact that you need to get to the next level. All you're doing is complaining and playing the victim mindset. If life is a game, if America is a game, play the game. Die trying. That's what I got from 25 to 26. Okay. I want to end the rest by saying, right, I put it down, control what you can and adapt to what you can't. Open your ears wide do it. Listen to this one more time. Control what you can and adapt to what you can't. Okay? Yes, life is a hard game. But would you rather try or sit there and not try at all? Play that game and play it well. Any advantage that you have, use it against it. Play it well. There's no better feeling than knowing that at the end of the day, I did what I need to do to be the best version of myself and to give me the best thing that I can get in this life. So that is the end of this video. Honestly, I wish this was longer, but I feel like we can talk more as time goes by. But these are the things that I've learned as a newly 26-year-old. So far, I've learned that growth doesn't come with comfort. Like, everybody has been saying it, but I feel like a lot of people, it goes over our head. It doesn't come with comfort. You have to work. You have to work for it. And also, run your own race. You know, be the best at everything. Be the best at everything that you do. Don't victimize and blame anything. If you feel like you're having negative thoughts, ignore it. Ignore those negative thoughts. Ignore those negative people. Ignore their negative opinions. And just focus on what you need to do, you know? And also be kind to yourself. Take care of your health. Take care of yourself. And always just put yourself first. That's what I have to say. Like, at the end of the day, put yourself first. That is all. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And I will be back again. I promise you this is going to be a weekly thing. I am not going to give up because clearly you guys love this. And I'm going to continue to serve you guys everything that you need so that we can both elevate in life. Because at the end of the day, we refuse to stay in the same place and live a miserable life. It is not going to happen over our dead bodies. Bye.